What's up guys, Trilogy here with Trilogy Effect. Today we're going to be doing another tier list video. Today we're going to be doing a tier list on Spider-Man, my favorite superhero. But instead of ranking the movies and other stuff like that, the actors, we're going to be looking at ranking the costumes. So I might have missed one, but I'm pretty sure I've got all of the suits here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 costumes here throughout the 3 generations of Spider-Man that we've seen on screen. Most of these are Tom Holland suits. You know, the MCU loves new costumes. They love new costumes. Tobey Maguire has 1 costume. And there's people who debate who says he has 2 costumes technically, because I think the design is slightly different in Spider-Man 2 and 3 versus the first costume, but most people aren't going to notice that difference. But before we jump into it, I'm Trilogy with Trilogy Effect. I do comic content like this, movies, anime, gaming, all kinds of stuff on my channel. I have curated playlists on my channel. I also have a long-form content news podcast every week called Trilogy Talk. Comes out every Friday. You should definitely check that out. Also, I have a Patreon down below if you want to help support the channel. I don't do ads or sponsorships or stuff like that, but I would appreciate it if you wanted to help out the channel. And that said, let's jump into it. So yeah, here's the tier list. Let's go in order. So the first costume that we ever seen on screen, and this is kind of a typo, I guess, because I said Tobey Maguire had 1 costume, but he actually has 2. We're going to be looking at the Tobey Maguire homemade costume. And out of the homemade costumes, a lot of people like this one the best. And I'd probably put it as my second favorite. I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, you could tell that it's homemade, but I do like the big spider on the chest, and he has some Nikes on and stuff like that. I mean, the homemade costumes can only go so high. I don't think any of the homemade costumes are going to go above C tier, honestly. But I'm going to put the Tobey Maguire in C tier. It's not where he's going to be, but it's pretty good for a homemade costume. And it was later adopted in some of the comics to be like his official homemade costume. So it's pretty cool. It has the colors. It has, I mean, that's all I can really say about the homemade costume. Up next, we're going to have the Tobey Maguire webbed costume. And a lot of people love this costume. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it into... I'm going to throw it into the S tier. It's pretty comic accurate. Like, the spider is accurate. The eyes are nice. The tone of them does change slightly in the later movies, which I'm glad. I like the white tone. They're not bright white like the Andrew Garfield eyes, but they're still really good. I really don't have any complaints about this costume. Despite the color, it's not bright like Spider-Man is in the comics. It's a darker tone, but I mean, it's hard to dock points for that just because most comic book movies take a costume and make it darker. You usually don't get those vibrant, bright colors that you usually get from the comics and stuff like that. So I'm going to throw it in the S tier because I really have no complaints about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man costume. And that's it. Tobey Maguire has 2 costumes. Up next, we're going to be looking at the Vigilante Vigilante Andrew Garfield costume. Oh, I'm sorry. This costume, it sucks. If it's even a costume at all, it's a disguise of some sort. I'm going to throw it in the D tier. I mean, honestly, out of the homemade costumes, this is definitely the worst in my opinion. I'm going to throw it in the D tier, and let's not talk about it anymore. Up next, we're going to have the Amazing Spider-Man costume. And a lot of people like this because it has like a modern, sleek type look. I hate the yellow-orange eyes on this costume. I really don't like this costume at all. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it at all. Like, out of all of the actual Spider-Man costumes, it's probably my least favorite out of all of the official Spider-Man costumes. I want to put it in the D tier. I'm throwing it in the D tier. And I like the Tobey Maguire homemade costume better than this one. That's how we're feeling. That's really how I'm feeling. I'm going to leave it just like that. Up next, we're going to go to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume. This one is nice. This one's nice. The colors are brighter. The eyes are white. It doesn't have the webbed lines like the Tobey Maguire one does, but I really love this costume. Honestly, I think I like it more than the Tobey Maguire costume, and go ahead and click off. But I like the colors better. I mean, they're almost identical costumes, but the Andrew Garfield eyes are much bigger, and I like the big white eyes. And then the colors, even though they're still dark, they're brighter, and I like that much more than the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man costume. Up next, we're going to be jumping into, you can see all the costumes left. Look at how many costumes Andrew Garfield has. No, I'm sorry, not Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland has. He has more costumes than all of the other Spider-Man suits combined. There's 5 suits that are ranked already, and we still have we still have 8 costumes left to go. That's crazy. That's crazy how many suits he has. But even though this isn't ranked by, appearances, let's do appearances. So first one, we have the homemade Tom Holland costume. This is probably my favorite homemade Tom Holland. This is my favorite homemade costume. We actually got to see it in battle. I mean, Tobey Maguire had his wrestling scene, but we got to see him use this in his fight against the Vulture, and I thought that was really cool because Iron Man was like, if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve it. And we got to see Spider-Man just do stuff without his power-ups and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. It's like I said, homemade, you can only go so far. I'm gonna throw it in the C tier, but I do think it's my favorite homemade suit. Up next, we're gonna have the Stark suit, which I love the black tones in this suit. And I'm not sure if I wanna include capabilities, because obviously the Tom Holland suits are way OP, and I mean, they're OP. But I wanna just go a little bit of perks, a little bit of design. I like the black in the Stark suit. I like it. I like the small spider, stuff like that. I'm just trying to decide if I like it more than the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire suits, but I don't think I do. So with that said, I'm gonna throw it into the A tier. It's a really good suit. It's probably my favorite Tom Holland suit besides one of them. I'm not gonna get into it yet. But yeah, it's really good. Up next, we're going to move into Spider-Man's next movie, which is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. It's going to have Spider-Man with the black and red, which I like black and red. I know Spider-Man's original concept, his original costume, fun fact, used to be black and red. It was just colored and it looked blue, and eventually they just made it blue. But I'm just not a big fan of this black and red suit. Like, it's not horrible, so I'm not throwing it in the B tier, but I mean, I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't have too much to say. It's basically the Stark suit, but it's blue. It has some black right here on the arms. It also has black fingertips, and it's slightly colored differently. It has that ugly white spider on the back. I hate that spider. That spider is disgusting. I'm not a big fan of this costume at all. But yeah, up next after that, we're gonna be moving into, I forgot the Night Monkey one. The Night Monkey suit, I feel like this move, it's kind of like a homemade suit. I feel like it doesn't really matter, and its inclusion in the movie made no sense. But I'm gonna put it in the C tier. I probably like it better than the other ones. An all black suit does sound cool. But yeah. Skip the Iron Spider suit. Technically, that was in between Homecoming, and I like the Iron Spider suit. Sometimes the colors didn't look right, but I love the nanotech that he got from Tony Stark. That's pretty cool. But I just feel like the color scheme is kind of off. It might have looked cooler if they kept the Iron Spider color design from the comics, but that's just my opinion. I'm gonna put it high B tier. Up next, finally, we're in the new No Way Home suit. So he does still have the red and black one, but he also gets some new suits, which most of these are needless inclusions in my opinion also. So first one he's gonna get is the Inside Out black and gold suit, which does look good in some instances, but it has those wires and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm just not a big fan of the black and gold suit. I wish this picture had his head on there, but I'm not a big fan of the black and gold suit, so I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Better than the Night Monkey. It's not on the same tier as the homemade suits. And then up next, we got the gold black and red. The gold black and red is interesting. It has the nanotech in there, but the nanotech doesn't do anything. So it's just like, And then it has a big spider on the front and the back. I prefer the smaller spiders. So even though I like it better than the black and gold, I don't like it better than the black and red. So it's gonna be right there. And then up next, we're gonna have the one that at the end of the movie with Spider-Man swinging through New York City in his new costume with this vibrant blue, this vibrant red. We don't know if this is just the colors or what, But based off of what I saw in there, this is the best Spider-Man costume ever. Ever. We don't even know if it has any Stark tech on there. Look at the bright colors next to the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire suits. It's just bright. I love it. Small spider. The eyes probably still move. That's one thing that's cool about the Tom Holland suits. The eyes are interactive. But because of that, I'm going to make that the best Spider-Man suit we've ever seen. But it's really hard to tell. At the end, it was dark. We didn't get to see him use it much. But as it stands, this is my favorite Spider-Man costume. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Quick video. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe, support the channel. What do you think is the best costume? Sorry that the Mcguire suit wasn't #1. I know a lot of people love that suit. It was top 3. It was my #3 pick. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Trilogy out. Peace.